Hello, and thank you for joining our webinar, an overview of the 2024 Gold Star Standards of Excellence program. Through this webinar, we will provide an overview of the 10 evidence-based standards of the 2024 Gold Star Standards of Excellence program. We'll review key dates and opportunities for this year, and we'll walk through the application process. The Gold Star Standards of Excellence program, or GSSE, is an initiative under our Breathe Easy Maine program. This program is part of the Maine Health Center for Tobacco Independence, or CTI. CTI supports a tobacco-free Maine through education, policy, treatment, and training initiatives. CTI implements the statewide tobacco treatment initiative, including the GSSE program, on behalf of the Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Department of Health and Human Services. First launched in 2010, the Gold Star Standards of Excellence program recognizes Maine organizations that are addressing tobacco use and exposure by implementing strategies that support tobacco treatment and prevention. Recognized organizations are showcasing their leadership in health by taking steps to optimize the health of patients, clients, students, staff, and the surrounding community. These organizations provide key community support and are exemplary role models of healthy behaviors. You can learn more about Breathe Easy and the Gold Star Standards of Excellence program at breatheeasymaine.org. As you prepare for your application for this year's program, we hope that this webinar will be very helpful and answer many of your questions. But if you have lingering considerations or want to know more information, please don't hesitate to also reach out to us at breatheeasy@mainehealth.org. As we'll review throughout the webinar, the Gold Star Standards of Excellence includes 10 best practice standards for addressing tobacco use, supporting tobacco-free lifestyles, and creating tobacco-free social norms. Hospitals, colleges, universities, healthcare organizations, and behavioral health organizations across the state of Maine are invited to apply for recognition in 2024. Based on the number of standards met, your organization will be recognized at the platinum, gold, silver, or bronze level. Organizations that meet at least 5 of the 10 standards will receive this recognition at the Maine Tobacco Treatment and Prevention Conference coming up in June of 2024. Later in this webinar, we'll walk you through the Smartsheet application form, but we want to highlight that the application period is open from March 11th through April 26th. This will provide an opportunity for you to pull together all of the information around what your organization has been doing and submit it through the Smartsheet form. We'll be notifying organizations of their award level in mid-May so that they can plan to celebrate that along with us in June through our public recognition, including at the conference. New in 2024, we're pleased to provide an abbreviated reapplication process for organizations that were recognized in 2023. We appreciate the ongoing participation and commitment to these standards and addressing tobacco use, and wanted to find a way to streamline the process for providing opportunity for those who want to be recognized at the same level or with minimal changes to complete an abbreviated application for up to 3 years. As you go through the regular application process and put in your background information, you'll see the opportunity to highlight that you're a 2023 awardee. And as you do that, we'll be asking you to attest that your efforts that you were recognized for last year and that you submitted your application on are continuing and are currently accurate. And we're going to provide that opportunity for you to reapply and do that if you're adjusting either that same recognition level or only 1 or 2 components. If you plan to shift your level of recognition by changing at least 3 standards, we ask that you complete the full application process. And we'll ask that as we go forward, for those who are ongoing participants, and we do encourage everyone to get recognized each year, that every 3 years we'll ask for a full application to verify that your strategies are continuing. Before we move into the review of the standards, we also want to highlight a great opportunity to recognize individuals, programs, or teams within your organization. We know that it requires a lot of ongoing work to meet these standards and to address tobacco use and exposure. So we want to provide the opportunity to nominate a Gold Star champion for public recognition. Please share your stories of those who have led efforts or implemented a unique approach for this special recognition. Through the website and the application process, you can complete the brief Gold Star Champion application as a way to support them, and they'll receive recognition at the same event in June. And with that, we want to dive into the 2024 standards and the application process.
Now we'll go over the standards that are included in this year's Gold Star Standards of Excellence application. As we walk through the 10 standards, I'll also indicate what you'll be asked to include in your application to meet the standard. We've worked to put together an application checklist that also includes these components for your reference. We recommend using this application checklist to gather all of your information prior to submitting your application. This checklist is available on breatheasymaine.org/GSSE, along with the standards application link and past awardee information. Note all standards are reviewed on an annual basis and updated as needed to ensure that Breathe Easy is encouraging organizations to meet emerging best practices for tobacco-free policies and supporting tobacco-free lifestyles. The first standard is in regards to your tobacco-free policy. The standard reads, the organization has a written 100% tobacco-free campus policy that prohibits the smoking and use of all tobacco products, including cigarettes, smokeless tobacco, and e-cigarettes. Smoking and tobacco product use by employees, providers, patients, clients, students, visitors, and/or contractors is prohibited at all times on the property, including in parking lots, in all organization-owned or leased vehicles, and at satellite offices or buildings. The application will ask you for a current tobacco-free policy, and there's an option to upload that, as well as a narrative box asking you to indicate the comprehensive tobacco-free policy components and where they're located within the uploaded policy document. For example, please give us the page number and/or section it's located in. Standard number 2 is policy communication and enforcement. It reads, the organization has written policies and procedures that detail how the tobacco policy, whether 100% tobacco free or not, is enforced and employee expectations around the policy. The policy defines staff or departments responsible for policy enforcement. The application will ask you to verify that your policy has the following components: a tobacco-free policy acknowledgement by staff, new staff orientation on policy and procedures, employee violation procedures, tobacco-free policy information availability, employee training, policy compliance procedures, reduction of tobacco waste, policy signage on grounds, or other communication and enforcement strategies that your organization uses. Standard 3 is in regards to tobacco advertising within your organization. The standard reads, advertisement and promotion of tobacco products is prohibited on the organization's campus and satellite facilities. This includes publications and magazines subscribed to by the organization for placement in waiting areas. The application will ask you to describe your efforts that your organization has taken to address this standard in both the narrative section, as well as checking any of the below strategies that have been implemented within the last 12 months. And those strategies could include having magazines available without tobacco advertisement, placing stickers on all donated or subscribed magazines that may contain tobacco advertisement, the removal of tobacco advertisements from these magazines, as well as notices in waiting rooms indicating the organization does not support tobacco advertisements. Standard 4 is titled Tobacco Dependence and Treatment Education. It reads information about tobacco dependence, secondhand smoke, thirdhand smoke, and local or state tobacco treatment resources are readily available for patients, clients, employees, and visitors. For example, educational brochures or posters are displayed in the lobby, waiting areas, and/or treatment rooms. The application will ask you to please describe efforts your organization has taken to address this standard in the narrative section. Standard 5 is titled Evidence-Based Tobacco Treatment Training for Employees. The standard reads, the organization supports evidence-based tobacco treatment training for staff by offering in-services on tobacco treatment, supporting staff financially to attend trainings, and/or providing access to literature and resources on site for staff. Trained staff are also available to provide treatment counseling to tobacco-dependent patients or clients. The application will ask you to list either the number of employees who have been trained on evidence-based tobacco treatment counseling and education, and/or the number of tobacco treatment-related activities or trainings held over the past year. Standard 6 is titled Screening for Patients and Clients for Tobacco Use and Dependence. The standard reads, all patients and clients are screened for tobacco use at each visit. Tobacco use status for individuals are documented. The application will ask you to describe initial and annual screening processes for new and existing clients for tobacco use and dependence. Standard 7 is titled Evidence-Based Tobacco Treatment Incorporated for Patients and Clients, and the standard reads, individuals identified as being tobacco dependent are offered evidence-based tobacco treatment services as a component of their treatment plan. This can include tobacco treatment counseling, clinical assessment and management for nicotine withdrawal, and/or offering FDA-approved tobacco treatment medications. The application will ask you to describe how evidence-based tobacco treatment services are incorporated into treatment plans for clients identified as being tobacco dependent. Standard 8 is titled Referrals to Evidence-Based Tobacco Treatment for Patients and Clients Interested in Quitting, and it reads, individuals identified as being tobacco dependent and interested in quitting are referred to evidence-based tobacco treatment such as the Main Quit link or My Life, My Quit. The application will ask you to describe the referral process to evidence-based tobacco treatment services for clients that are interested in quitting. Standard 9 is tobacco treatment benefits for employees and reads, tobacco treatment services are a covered benefit in the organization's health insurance package for employees and their dependents. And the application will ask you to describe what tobacco treatment benefits are provided and how they're promoted to employees. And the final standard is regards to tobacco funding and donations, and it reads, the organization has a written policy stating that it refuses all donations from the tobacco industry and divests itself of all tobacco company stock. And the application asks you to provide policy language, procedures, and/or guidelines that explain the organization's position on tobacco industry donations.
Now that we've gone over all 10 standards with you, I'm going to go through how to submit your application, where to find it, and just take you through each step of the individual Gold Star Champion application, which is separate from the organizational 10 standard GSSE application. So the first thing you could do to access it is you could scan this QR code as shown on the slide, and the online application that was built in Smartsheet will pop up and you can go through and start filling that out. The second thing you could do is you could visit our Breathe Easy website for the application link or our customized Smartsheet dashboard. Both links are here. And I will just show you how to get there and what the dashboard has to offer. This is our GSSE Smartsheet dashboard. We have everything on here, including our website, our email, if you have any questions or need TA with submitting your applications, just any upcoming reminders and upcoming deadlines. We have that beautiful checklist that we had chatted about before, just outlining everything you're going to need to apply to each standard. So the recommendation would be definitely to pull that up and have everything ready to go. So you could just plug it into the application link here, and the individual Gold Star Champion application. So I'm going to click on the GSSE application and just show you what pops up. You will see the application and all the award levels listed out here. But the recommendation again would be, because this isn't a plug in your information, save as you go setup, you're going to have to definitely gather all those things in the checklist, maybe save it in a Word document, or just have everything ready to go. And then when you're ready to submit your application, just come right into this and plug it in. Up top here is just basic organizational information and contact information that we need. Then we're going to go down here. We have two different parts of the application, which is new this year. So we ask for returning organizations, did you receive GSSE recognition in 2023? If you did, you have the option just to select yes, and it will bring you to our abbreviated application, which is new for this year. And I can go through that later, but first, for new partners or new organizations, or maybe organizations that haven't applied for a few years, maybe some of your policies or procedures have changed, you're going to want to fill out the full application. So what you'll do is, if this is automatically on yes, you'll just select no, and then you'll go through each section of each standard. I'm not going to go through every single standard just because it's a lot, but it's set up basically the same. It talks about what the standard is, and it goes into detail about it, and then what the requirement is and what we're looking for. Each standard has a text box for you to outline anything that maybe is missing, or to give us like exact page numbers if you're uploading any supporting documentation, or just anything else you want to add when you're applying to that standard. If for some reason you are not applying to a certain standard, please just indicate that in the text box. That way we know. But yeah, that's basically the setup. You go through each one. I'll just kind of scroll through. Here's standard 2. These ones have some check boxes. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure you're reading the guidance. And then once you scroll down to the bottom, you've got through all 10 standards. There's now a place for you to upload those supporting documents or files that we pretty much ask for just standard 1 and 10, but there is opportunity if you want to show us, certain pictures of how you're communicating a policy or your website or anything like that. You can just upload any supporting files or things you want to attach to the application in this section here. The last thing I wanted to mention is, this is a great tool. You can just click this box and send a copy of the full application and have it emailed to yourself. That way you get a copy of it, you submitted it, and you can have it for your files. And then once you're done, you click the submit button. Just going back up to those organizations that have applied for many years in a row or are familiar with the process, we wanted to add a abbreviated option. So you'll get to this question and it will ask you if you received recognition last year. You can always visit our website if you're not sure, and you can see the past award recipients. If you have, you can select yes. And then you have these 3 questions to go through and complete. Most of the time people are applying, maybe they already received platinum and they're applying for an unchanged award level and nothing has changed in the past year. So it's really just a way for you to not have to fill out every single standard again if there's been no significant changes, and for you to just kind of indicate that in this narrative section. There is opportunity if maybe you're applying for an adapted award level, you'd like to your level from like gold to platinum or silver to gold. If you do want to do that, you'll just have to indicate that here. And once you start typing information in, this little file upload will pop up, so you can actually attach any supporting documentation if you're trying to apply for an adapted award level. Just to note, if 3 or more standards have been adapted that you've gone through since last year, or maybe you guys changed your policy, or in the past couple of years some of your policies or procedures are different than it was even from last year, we do ask that you please go back and change the drop down and you do fill out the full application. So if you need to get back to the full application, this kind of breaks it down here, but all you need to do is select no and it will bring you back to the full application. And that's it. So that's how you fill out the GSSE application. If you have questions or concerns, just refer back to that dashboard here. And you can just shoot us an email and we can help you and offer an ETA. I do want to show you quickly, right next to the application link is a Gold Star Champion application. Click on that for you. And this is pretty self-explanatory. It's much shorter. And this is if you're nominating or recognizing someone, just to acknowledge their efforts in tobacco treatment or prevention efforts. And you just would fill out the appropriate information here. Again, the option to send a copy of your responses and email it to yourself and submit it.
Thank you so much for joining our webinar, and we really hope that you'll consider applying for recognition through the 2024 Gold Star Standards of Excellence program. As we noted earlier, the application period is open between March 11th and April 26th. Please plan to get your application submitted during that time and have the opportunity to join us at the Maine Tobacco Treatment and Prevention Conference in June 2024, where we'll be recognizing all of the organizations as well as the individual Gold Star champions. Please visit breatheeasymaine.org/GSSE or visit the QR code to access all of the applications as well as the support checklist and resources. We really appreciate your ongoing efforts to address tobacco use and exposure and to support tobacco-free social norms and lifestyles within your setting. If you have any questions about the program, please reach out to us at Breathe Easy Maine or breatheeasy@mainehealth.org. Thank you.